Well, hello and a warm welcome to everyone. I'm so happy. Yay. Okay. So, we have a game here between Kumar and Elias, and we have a pretty standard opening setup, solid D3 move. And Black has gone with the H6 line, which is a little bit patient, hoping not to run into the hyper tactical fried liver attack, which would involve moves like this. So that's fine, totally fine, and White responds in reasonable fashion. But D5 here, this is the first critical mistake from Black. It's a bit too expansive. You have to be a realist when you're playing the game. See, White has played the opening in a pretty fine fashion. There is no shitty move that has been made as such by White in the opening. So, as Black, you have to take that into account and be circumspect and realistic in recognizing that full blown expansion is probably not going to pay off in your favor because A, you're Black. You already start with a move behind, and B, White has already played pretty decent moves. So, the more conservative D6 would be a better option, or castling. But we have this move here. And now White has a nice opportunity to seize on the Queen B3 square. This is really taking into account many different soft spots in the position. B7 is soft, F7 is very soft, and E5 is soft. Queen B3 over there really heightens the pressure on everything. The knight would be under a lot of pressure, and how does he respond? If he moves it away, then bam, bishop takes F7, and you get a nice attack. If, on the other hand, this knight goes back around to circulate and defend this knight, well, then this one falls over here because this knight can take. So it's really all starting to fall apart after queen b3. He could also play, you could play queen b3 and bishop e6, but then you lose this pawn. So it's really a stressful situation. But White doesn't find that move. Instead, he ratchets it up the pressure on this pawn, which is also fair, I understand. And now we have this kind of a pin. And here again, you could go queen b3 and still just go on with the same plan, not worry about the doubled pawns. But maybe it's better to be a little bit more mindful of your king's safety and play a bit more carefully. So I'm totally in favor of this idea. Because this is a rollicking move. Queen f3 with this in the sides and this in the sides is a lot of pressure to add on here. Black is under a lot of trouble. He has to move the knight back. That's the only move he can really realistically play. And he doesn't play it. He just castles instead, losing the piece for free. And after this, it becomes a pretty easy cakewalk. But the real challenge would be, what if he did knight back? How do you respond then as White? If you're new here, click like and subscribe and follow for more. In the meantime, pause and think about it. Knight f6. What should White do next after that? After that, you've done a lot of stuff to build up a lot of pressure, but how do you finish it off? That's really going to be the key question. And the answer, if you're ready for it, is pawn to d4. Pawn to d4 asks all the right questions. It takes into account the pin of the king here. It hits the bishop. This pawn can't capture because of this rook. So it asks all the right questions, and that's really the move you would need to be able to play if you want to take your game to the next level. All right. So instead we have a quick takedown and now some shuffling around. Of course, White could easily just simplify the game, and that's probably what he should do, but maybe he just enjoys playing a little bit and wants to not win too easily. So it's all well and good. This is all fine, all lovely looking. His black's queen has totally gone offside. So a mate is definitely in the air. There's mate in the air right now. I believe right here it was that the computer had a mate in 6. It was very interesting. So knight check, king moves back, queen up here threatening mate on h7. So he has to interpose with the pawn. Then queen goes up here to f6, delivers a check to the king there. So the king now slides up to h7. And then we have the bishop sack on g6, checking the king, so he has to take back. And now you have queen takes on g6 again, defended by the knight. So the king locks back here. And then you have the final move, queen takes h6, and it's checkmate. Because the knight is covering this square and the queen is covering these other squares. So there's always checkmate in the air, and you gotta be in a situation, a mindset to really look for that kill, to be a hunter. Hunt or be hunted. That's really the name of the game as you get higher up in the thing. You can't just leave these opportunities by and slow walk it. Of course, you can slow walk it here. You can, mop up the tail. Just, but you also want to, yeah. I mean, look at this. This is so easy, right? And a nice checkmate. Okay. Hope you enjoyed that game and follow and like for more.